across the country are expected to sit down for their final exams from the 30th of October and run all the way into December. So how are the preparations going in the Eastern Cape? Let's ask the spokesperson of the Education Department in the province, Vuyiseka Mboklela. Thank you so much for your time, Vuyiseka. We do appreciate it. Maybe just speak to us about whether or not the province is ready for matric exams. We know that there are many challenges, especially in a province that might not have as many resources as other provinces. Do you think you are ready to deal with matric exams come the 30th of October?
Thank you very much, Haida, and also good afternoon to the viewers of ASNA. I can tell you the province is ready. This year we are going to administer 1.5 question papers that are going to be distributed to 98,842 learners across the province. We've got 25 marking centers that have been prepared. Security to store papers is ready. There's a clear collaboration between the South African Police Service and the intelligence of the country to make sure that there are no purposely done leaks by the officials of the department, by the teachers. And we can confirm that between the first 2 weeks, from the 30th of October to the 10th of November, there's a concentration camp that are going to be done across different districts in the province to make sure that those learners that needs additional support in terms of revision, they get that. And we can also confirm that markers and also people that are going to be in marking centers have already been appointed by the department. Application closed 2 months ago. So all systems goes. District directors are always having a meeting with the HOD every week to confirm if there are any issues that might be coming from their own district unplanned. And we can also confirm that indeed the MEC has briefed, the provincial legislature has briefed the Standing Committee on Education and also has briefed the National Department of Education of the State of Readiness in terms of the Eastern Cape. So at least we can confirm that indeed we are ready. The number that we have this year, we are going to be able to shoulder it because the work indicates that. And also the teacher unions in the province have also vouched to support the department in making sure that examination runs smoothly.
Okay, I mean, that sounds like it is all systems go in the Eastern Cape and for the Eastern Cape, but there are obviously a number of challenges, Vuyiseka, and we can't ignore those challenges with, for example, schools in remote or rural areas that might be at a disadvantage in terms of infrastructure that might have not been maintained or looked after, classrooms that are in a very bad state. Could you maybe just explain to us how you've handled that specific situation? Because we know it's there and we know it exists.
Yes, it's true, it's there, and it's a challenge that we are dealing with. I can confirm to you that as from 2019 until today, the Department of Education in the Eastern Cape has built 100 schools. And out of that number, 40 has been handed over to different communities by the MEC. And I can confirm that indeed, in terms of the pit latrine toilets, which are thorn in the hip of the department, there's a ongoing building that is taking place in different schools in the province, led by Mvula Trust. And also I can confirm that in June this year, there was a number of 192, if I'm not mistaken, of schools that were given fencing by the department. And of course, I can say that as you would understand that we had a bit of a bad weather this weekend. Surely the district is going to give an indication if there are any schools that are going to be inaccessible and there are schools that are not going to have a proper structure, and instantly a decision will be taken. And I can also confirm that even provincial government has given a nod to the department that it must knock in every door in terms of getting assistance, especially in areas where there will be bridges that are collapsing. But we can tell that South African Defence Force at least is in a speed dial with the Department of Education and also provincial government, and also the Department of Transport is understanding that there are some schools that will need a special dispensation in terms of what needs to be provided. So as of now, we have a number of schools that we have given out, and I can tell that next Thursday, the MEC is also going to give another school in Sarah Batman district, which is a state-of-the-art school in the province.
Okay, sorry, you touched on something quite important. Are you able, I know you said that there still needs to be an assessment, but are you able to tell us how many schools have been damaged due to the bad weather?
As of now, I can't confirm, but what I know is that tomorrow, surely the head of the department will be knowing the number of schools that would have been affected, if they are, because the weather was in the same across the province. There are other areas that really didn't get the same weather conditions that people in East London were having. So it's a matter of just checking on that one. And then if there are areas where there's a different need that gets to be expected, definitely the head of the department is going to make an instant decision. Because one thing that has been given as instruction to the department is that there shall be no any hindrance to writing of examination by the Premier.
Sure. Okay. Just lastly, eZaga, we do know that learners are under significant pressure. I mean, they've previously had to deal with COVID-19. They've had to deal with load shedding. I'm sure the Eastern Cape is not an exception when it comes to water issues. And the Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, previously indicated that they've noticed a very worrying change of behavior in learners, really having these very violent and emotional outbursts. Are you confident as the Eastern Cape Education Department that you have provided the necessary support to learners, not just to matriculants, but just overall in terms of providing it with the resources, but also with the emotional support that they need, and even study camps?
Yes, I can tell you that last week we had a session with learners across the province, represented by different learners. It was a 3-day session that was held in East London. Its own purpose was to hear from them what are the issues that they wish government can take up. And part of what the learners were raising was the psychosocial support that they need from government. Because if you'd been following some reports, especially with Stats SA in relation to Eastern Cape, is that there are many learners that are in our schools that are without parents, that are coming from child-headed families. A sample report that was presented in that 3-day summit, it indicated that we had a number of 1,800 learners that came out to indicate that they don't have parents, and they're staying with grandmothers and all that. So there's a program that the department committed to do, so that you don't only see Department of Education as a platform for teaching and learning, but also to address psychosocial support and also address societal ills. And I could also make an indication that 2 days back, the department was engaged in a program on the side of Port St. John's, which is our OR Tambo Coastal, where we're launching a program that says Shine Prayazan, which is a program that is giving a second chance to all those young girls that would have been pregnant during the schooling process. We're begging them and persuading them that irrespective of that, they must still understand that they can still make it in life and they can still pass grade 12.
Absolutely. Well, we do wish them all the very best, and we wish you the best as the Eastern Cape Education Department. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That is the spokesperson, eZaga, speaking to us about the preparedness when it comes to matric exams for the Eastern Cape.